It's Penn State versus Kentucky in the Citrus Bowl.
The Nittany Lions and thousands of their fans enjoying sunny Florida.
It caps off another successful season in Happy Valley.
A season that also came with some heartbreaking disappointments.
But Nittany Nation is back in a New Year's Day bowl game and playing for a record third straight 10-win season.
Orlando is hearing the Lions roar, and so is Newswatch 16.
WNEP presents Showdown in the Sunshine State. Penn State returns to the Citrus Bowl.
Happy New Year's Eve from Orlando, Florida. I'm Jon Meyer along with Landon, Stolar, and a lot of Penn State fans.
Yeah, you can say that again. We are indeed. We are. We got our own little miniature pep rally going here, John. But I got to tell you, there was nothing miniature about the official pep rally earlier this afternoon. These fans and so many more, they estimated 3,000. That would be the most ever for the Citrus Bowl.
It really was quite a scene here. And, you know, the fans are lingering around. There's some Kentucky fans over here. They're not so loud, are they? No, they may be blue and white, but this is the blue and white we know. We just want to show you just some of what that pep rally was like.
It doesn't take much to pump up the Penn State faithful, especially when they're all together in the warm Florida sunshine. But a pre-bowl game pep rally is a Penn State tradition to fire up the fans even more.
I'm amazed. My first time, and I love it. It's an amazing experience.
And in this big crowd of blue and white, there were plenty of fans from northeastern and central Pennsylvania.
Wonderful, always fun. Penn State, #1.
Great game expected tomorrow. We're going to come home with a win. The pep rally's all pumped up, ready to rock and roll. Go PSU.
There was the blue band, the cheerleaders,
and we welcome to the stage our Penn State cheerleaders.
And the head of this Lions pride, Coach James Franklin.
Their fans are going to be wearing blue and white. We're going to be wearing the real blue and white.
Franklin has declared a Penn State whiteout and is of course calling for this crowd to be loud. That shouldn't be a problem.
Oh my gosh, you just can't believe it.
Was it worth making the trip?
Absolutely.
How about the Penn State spirit? Is it strong here?
Yeah, it's pretty strong. A lot of people came out to support them. We're excited for the game tomorrow.
And we are back here live. I'm sorry I couldn't hear it so loud here, Landon. But obviously they are still pumped up from all this excitement from the pep rally. And this is just some of the events that are going on down here.
This was a very busy week for the Nittany Lions. Of course, they're here to win a football game, trying to win a fifth straight bowl game. Of course, going to a fifth straight bowl game. But they had so much going on this week. Of course, they've been to this before. They know how this works. It's a balancing act between work and play, and there was plenty of time for both all week long. From the moment they landed, the Nittany Lions have been treated like kings of the Sunshine State, red carpet and all.
To come to Orlando and have such great hosts and have a great opponent in Kentucky, we're excited about the opportunity. It's a reward.
That reward comes with a vacation-like itinerary, starting with a welcome party that had everything from karaoke to haircuts. The players got $400 apiece to spend on a Best Buy shopping spree. They hit up main event entertainment for a night of, well, take your pick. Bowling, billiards, basketball, and more. And of course, what's a trip to Orlando without a stop at Universal Studios?
Yeah, I like amusement parks. I'm still a little kid. That's my personality. So being at the amusement park was fun, just being able to ride rides and stuff like that. And then Best Buy, yeah, a couple guys like buying like crock pots. I think JP, Johnny Patrician, was walking out with one of those like robot vacuums that just goes around on his own. I got an Apple Watch, and I got like a gaming headset for my Xbox.
It feels like a family vacation, and for Penn State, that's what it should feel like.
Our coaches do a really good job of talking about when you're on a trip like this, about just being in the moment and being where your feet are. So if that's you're out at Universal or any other events that we've done, you're at like the Best Buy deal that we had, be there and enjoy that, and enjoy having the free time with your teammates and brothers that you're going to be around for the last time.
But the Nittany Lions know how this works. It's a balance between work and play. And as the game gets closer, the focus shifts from fun to football.
Each day you progress with your preparation. You want to get more and more locked in for the game. So, the first 2 days are a little bit lighter with events and things like that. But today and tomorrow, all those things, we have less and less events to go to, more time to ourselves to watch film.
We got a good group that they know when to have fun and they know when to work. And I think having a healthy balance there has been a key for us.
But when you're getting into meetings and getting into practice and you're on the way to practice, that's when you kind of flip that switch and lock in and be able to make that transition and be ready to get into the mode of this is a business trip and you're coming here to, at the end of the day, to play and win a football game.
And that's exactly what they plan to do in the Citrus Bowl.
I've been so blessed. One of the reasons why I love this game and this university is because of the number of opportunities that I've had through playing football here at Penn State. I've been to Ireland, been to multiple bowl games, things like that, met people that I never would have met had it not been for this university. So I'm extremely blessed, and I'm just going to try to soak it all in for the rest of this week and go out on top with a W.
He said see you. He said see Carl.
We are back here with a rowdy crowd here at Point Orlando, still filled to the brim with Penn State fans, and we got a lot more of this coming up.
Including one player from the Nittany Lions who's a starter on the team, and he is from Luzerne County. Wait until you see McGovernville.
Yes, and from McGovern to McSorley, we'll take a closer look at Trace McSorley, the Penn State senior quarterback, and the legacy he's going to leave. That is coming up next as we continue live from Orlando.
This live WNEP presentation of Showdown in the Sunshine State, Penn State returns to the Citrus Bowl, is sponsored by your local Honda dealers and Allied Services Integrated Health System.
And welcome back to Showdown in the Sunshine State. We are here in Point Orlando with quite a few rowdy Penn State fans getting ready to kind of go at it with the Kentucky fans that are also here in town. But I'll tell you what, one of the best things about covering Penn State as closely as we do, besides these guys, is covering all the local connections. And this year, that starts with a local product right in the center of that offensive line, Connor McGovern.
McGovern has such a following in Luzerne County and beyond. His family, his friends, his supporters, they go to almost all the games, and they have quite the tradition. Let's take you to McGovernville.
It is a much different setting for what's known as McGovernville, poolside in the Florida sunshine.
It's just like home.
Jim and Maureen McGovern are the parents of McGovernville's namesake, Penn State offensive lineman Connor McGovern. This Penn State junior from Luzerne County is a graduate of Lake Lehman High School, and he has quite a following.
The support from Northeastern Pennsylvania has been incredible. This is just a small piece of what's been going on the last 3 years.
This is the real home of McGovernville, a tailgate outside Beaver Stadium. But that tradition and the motorhomes and fans involved in it made the trip south.
How many were in this on the way down?
9 of us.
9 of you?
Yeah.
Wow. It was cozy then, huh?
Yeah.
I mean, I'll tell you what, after about 2/3 of the way here, I'm thinking to myself, what do I do? This is way too much, but we're in now, so.
He is the captain of McGovernville right there.
But family friend Paul Falzone wouldn't miss this game. His family wouldn't either.
Just traveling this whole experience with Connor and the McGovern family has been once in a lifetime for me, because I've been a Penn State fan dating back to 1983. So for me, this has been a real good run for us and for him as well.
Oh my gosh, the last 3 years since Connor's been at Penn State, we just had a great time. We bought season passes. We take the RV down to all the games and set up a great tailgate, and a lot of friends and family come to all the games.
Uncle Jeff McGovern has another one of the RVs that make up McGovernville, traveling Route 66, Connor's number. But this crew and all Penn State fans had a struggle with tailgate traditions during the rainy fall.
I'll tell you what, the cold and the rain this year was trying. You had to be a real super fan to be at all those games.
But now the reward, sunshine, plenty of Penn State blue and white by the pool, and of course, that number 66.
Connor, a good football player,
it's like watching them, and I hope they win on Tuesday.
It's been a tremendous 3 years, Rose Bowl experience, Fiesta Bowl, and now the Citrus Bowl. So it's something that we could have never dreamed of 3 years ago.
We're just grateful and thankful and blessed to have family, friends.
All of them proud of their Nittany Lion, who could have quite the football future.
Unbelievably proud we are of him. I mean, he's kept an even keel with everything going on around him and the expectations this year, and he had another great year.
You know, sports is one thing, but he's just really a great individual, and his family are just outstanding people representing northeastern Pennsylvania, so we should all be proud.
As for the future of McGovernville, maybe you'll be heading to NFL stadiums someday
Let's
soon.
hope so. Yes, that would be great.
And you know, Connor McGovern is from Luzerne County, and some of our people here from Luzerne County, we love our Luzerne County. And Connor McGovern, you know, we are waiting to see what Connor's decision is, if he's going to stay with Penn State or move on. But we do know one person who is moving on, Trace McSorley.
And I can tell you one thing for sure. McGovern, big fan of McSorley, just like these folks here. Trace McSorley is going to leave Happy Valley as one of the best quarterbacks in school history. That cannot be argued. But what's interesting about McSorley and what's most impressive about McSorley is it's not just on the field, it's off the field as well.
One more game. One more game for Trace McSorley to dazzle fans, coaches, and teammates alike.
I just think he's a great competitor. He's always doing anything to will, and just how electric he is. At any moment, he can do anything big, pass, run. Just a great guy on and off the field.
McSorley leaves Happy Valley the face of a generation of Penn State football. From Todd Blackledge to Kerry Collins, some great quarterbacks have donned the blue and white, but it's McSorley who will hold the records. The school's all-time leader in completions, passing yards, and touchdowns, rushing touchdowns and wins for a quarterback. His first pass in the Citrus Bowl will make him the first player in school history to throw a pass in 4 bowl games. Records that speak for themselves.
I want to leave a legacy as a winner. Someone that came in every single day. The expectations weren't necessarily super high, but exceeded those expectations. And I had goals for myself, and I went out and I achieved them. And it was, just by coming in every day, being humble.
McSorley arrived in State College with James Franklin back in 2014. Even then, they knew he was much more than a football player.
Watching him grow and watching him evolve and watching him have success on the football field, watching him have success academically, it's so much more for us, than football.
You could tell he was special the first time you ever met the kid, and as quiet as he can be and things like that, to be able to say that about him is pretty amazing. It's just, when you watch him around any sort of teammates or any sort of his peers, you know that he's a special kid, and it doesn't take long to figure that out.
Just ask his teammates.
He's a legend in my eyes. Great teammate, great leader. Learned a lot from him. Appreciate him. Having a guy like that in the backfield next to me just gives me confidence and makes me more comfortable.
He's just such a great guy. Individually knows everyone, builds a relationship with everyone, so he just knows how to affect each person when they need it the most.
Being someone who was good to have in the locker room, when a guy saw him walking through, it wasn't like they could not being unapproachable. Just someone who was always around, always trying to help his teammates.
It's an example Franklin compares to another Penn State great, McSorley's former teammate Saquon Barkley.
I hope guys like Saquon and I hope guys like Trace show our players, our young players, that when you trust and that when you invest in the things that we're asking them to do, you got a chance to have a really good career and maximize your career. That's going to be different for every single one of them. But they're two guys that really kind of showed up on campus and never really questioned what we asked them to do. They did, because they understand every time we ask them to do something, it's based on 2 things: what's in the program's best interest and what's in their best interest, or we wouldn't be asking you to do it.
New Year's Day, McSorley will be asked to lead his team one more time. One game. One game to make sure this chapter of Penn State football closes the right way.
Honestly, I've just tried to focus on the game and focus on Kentucky and being able to go down to Orlando and finish the year off right.
It's been really nice getting to know Trace McSorley over these last few years. Really is a great kid. I know he's a fan favorite among all you guys. They love it. Honestly, they love Trace McSorley. But we talked to more than just players and coaches this week.
We certainly did. A big part of the Penn State experience is the Blue Band. And coming up next on Showdown in the Sunshine State, we go behind the scenes to see all the work that makes the music magic. That's next, live from Orlando.
You know, one of the biggest regrets I had back in college, my Syracuse days, not being in the marching band. I was in the pep band for the Syracuse basketball games, playing the euphonium, but it really looks like this Blue Band has one heck of a time.
They really are. They're so special. You know, the Blue Band is such a part of the Penn State experience, and we hear their songs all the time on the field at Beaver Stadium, but you just don't realize the work that goes into it and how many of those Blue Band members are from our viewing area.
Penn State fans are familiar with this. The Blue Band's songs and formations that help bring Beaver Stadium to life Saturdays in the fall. But you probably don't think about this.
Let's do this from memory.
All that goes into making that music magic on the field. This is Blue Band rehearsal in Florida, days before the Citrus Bowl.
1, 2, 3, 4,
This comes after hundreds of hours of practice all season long.
The Blue Band practices 4 days a week, and with game day, it's a 5-day week. Sometimes 3-hour rehearsals, so balancing between classes and rehearsals is a lot of work.
Every game, the Blue Band produces a new halftime show. That means working with a lot of new songs. And as SkyCam 16 shows us, working on a lot of new formations. All this creativity on the field involves a lot of precision. It's so much more than just music and marching.
There's definitely a lot of work that goes into it, day in, day out. It's hard, but I mean, we all balance it pretty well, and it's in all, it's a lot of fun too.
My grandfather marched saxophone, my aunt marched saxophone. I'm a percussionist, so it's kind of been like ingrained into me, like you're gonna go to Penn State, you're gonna be a member of the band.
But legacy doesn't guarantee a spot in the band. Everyone here had to go through rigorous auditions.
I auditioned twice, I didn't make it the first time, so I had the determination to come back and audition, and I heard my name called, and it was very overwhelming.
All the hard work that we do at the during the whole season, it's great to have this as a nice payoff.
There are other payoffs too, like knowing they're helping rally the football team to victory.
I like to believe so, but I think we push them. I think we get them excited, get them hyped.
And these Blue Band members know they are making their families and hometowns proud too.
They think it's the coolest thing in the world. They're so happy to see me here.
Among the 300 or so musicians, a lot of them come from counties in our part of PA.
Columbia, Lycoming, Luzerne,
Columbia,
Monroe, Northampton,
Luzerne,
Bradford,
Lycoming,
Lackawanna,
Union.
That's totally bizarre to me. I went to a really, really small school in northeastern PA. I only graduated with like 42 kids, and there was only less than 20 in my marching band. So to come here and be a part of this and travel all across the country is more than I could ever dream of.
It's a dream they get to share together.
Honestly, if I didn't come, I probably wouldn't have made the best friends that I did today.
So next time you get pumped up by the Blue Band and its signature songs, think of the story behind it and know that even though these students work hard, they certainly treasure this experience that, like everything in college, only lasts a few years.
It's bittersweet, you know, it's sucks that it's coming to an end, but I mean, ending it in sunny Orlando is nothing wrong with that.
And you know, the Blue Band got to go to Disney World, they got to march in the Citrus Parade. They've really had quite an experience here, and of course, they're going to be part of the game tomorrow because there is a game tomorrow, Landon.
You mean the Showdown in the Sunshine State?
Yes.
Yes, that is the Citrus Bowl. Penn State taking on Kentucky. We might as well just break down the matchup as they break down our station next.
This live WNEP presentation of Showdown in the Sunshine State, Penn State returns to the Citrus Bowl, is sponsored by your local Honda dealers and Allied Services Integrated Health System.
And we are back live in Orlando, Florida, where this crew is pumped for the Citrus Bowl tomorrow, because that is the real reason that we are all here, Penn State versus Kentucky.
And it really should be a great game. These are two teams that are really hot right now. Kentucky is one of the best defenses in the country all season long. Penn State's defense, they're one of the hottest teams in the country the last few games. Hey, we're going to find out who's going to win this game in just a few short hours.
Penn State, Kentucky, Big Ten, SEC. But these teams aren't as different as they seem. Kentucky is led by their defense and linebacker Josh Allen, a unit they've been riding all season long, and a player getting some high praise.
You know, all those people who, you know, are projecting him as a high first-round draft pick, I would echo that. You know, I mean, I've coached against Von Miller and some of those guys, and he's right up there.
But you definitely do have to have an awareness of a guy like him, not only because of, you know, what he can do in the pass rush, but he's extremely good at, you know, getting in and getting the strip sack and attacking the ball.
The last few years, Trace McSorley and the Penn State offense has stolen all the Happy Valley headlines, but this young defense is starting to become one of this team's strengths. After the loss to Michigan, Penn State gave up less than 7 points per game over the last 3 weeks.
We had some highs and lows this year, obviously, and I think those guys dealing with some of that adversity and working through it, understanding where they needed to get better, and really embracing that. I think that was a big piece of it. It took a couple of setbacks to really, I think, to right the ship. This game against Kentucky is kind of the next step for our unit, is how we see it.
The Wildcats haven't seen a team like Penn State this year, but that defense has gone up against a team with a Penn State connection. Former Penn State coordinator Joe Moorhead now coaches at Mississippi State, a team the Wildcats beat, holding them to just 7 points.
There's a similarity in the system, but I think there's a difference in the personnel. You know, I think the quarterbacks are different. You know, Sanders, the running back, presents different issues. He's really effective. I think Hamler, the slot, Johnson, the receiver, that's where the biggest differences are.
For Penn State, they don't have a former coach connection, but they face teams that play the way Kentucky does, teams that keep it on the ground.
Maryland has some similarities. Wisconsin, you know, teams that are pretty reliant on the run first, and find multiple ways to do it. You know, when you look at similar defenses, that probably plays more into our decision-making, our thought process, than similar offenses. You know, I think you want to see how they attacked folks that look like us and line up like us. And we had quite a few good examples off their season.
We are really looking forward to kickoff. These folks really looking forward to kickoff as well. We cannot wait for the Citrus Bowl. These guys are from our area. Where are you guys from?
Franklin Township, Luzerne County.
York. Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania.
Plains, Pennsylvania.
Clark Summit, Pennsylvania.
Plains, Pennsylvania.
We got Harding in the back there. We have Clinton County here. We have Hughesville. We have so much of Northeastern and Central PA. All these people are heading to the Camping World Stadium tomorrow. The Citrus Bowl, Penn State versus Kentucky, live on WNEP.
It should be a great game. So we got a little bit of time. You got to pick a winner?
Penn State.
There you go, Penn State. We like Penn State. I'm going 27-17 Penn State.
All right, and we are going to wish all of you a happy New